All right, guys and gals, what is up? This is Jabez Anderson. I'm here. Another episode of Saturday Sound Levels. Today I'm interviewing. I guess the camera's there too. Today I'm interviewing. Looking at all the cameras, I'm interviewing the actress-preneur, Shakira Reedus. Did I pronounce that right? Shakira
Yeah,
Reedus.
you did. You got it.
Hey.
Nail on the head.
So, first off, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling better than most. Apparently, I don't have coronavirus. I woke up. I'm still at home, so it's a good day.
Yeah, so you're located in L.A. Yeah.
No, see, I was living in LA for a year,
Okay.
and then I came home to visit for a while. And like when shit started going left,
Yeah.
I stayed home. I was like, after Kobe died, I knew something was going down. So I was
Oh.
like, I'm gonna stick it out for a little bit and see what happened. And look where we're at.
Yeah. So how did well, first off, how did Kobe's death impact you?
Well, because like, growing up, we all came across like legends and stuff like that. So I just consider him as a legend, even though like I'm not super into basketball. People around me were, so I
Yeah.
will always hear about Kobe. I shoot at the basketball. I mean, I shoot at the trash can and yell Kobe. I was one of those. Hell yeah! And like, he was still inspirational along the way. He still was like, push yourself, do better, don't be lazy. So at the end of the day, he was still legendary. Whether he was in my field or not, he was still great. And
Yeah.
I look up to great people, especially if you work hard for something you love.
Yeah. So who are some of the people that inspire you?
Ah man, Will Smith for sure, number one actor to me. To
Hmm.
me, I
Okay.
don't know
Okay.
about anybody else's opinion, but he's my favorite actor, number one for me, because like he started out as a non-actor. He sucked in the beginning,
Yeah.
and then like he literally showed me like you can grow it over time. You can become better. And he started out funny, but then he could be dramatic and just like flip the coin. And he could do it in the same movie sometime, like be funny and dramatic. So I think that's cool. And then on top of that, he was also, like I said, one of the legends, very inspirational, always doing those interviews, like, push yourself, do harder, be consistent, just, put in that work so you can get what you want. And I'm like, yeah, I fuck with it. I definitely hear you, Will Smith. So I looked up to him growing up. I also looked up to like the Tarajis, the Gabrielle Union, Nia Long. Of course, I got to shout out my black women actors. Okay, they were kicking ass the whole time. Kerry Washington, even Queen Latifah. Like she's multi-talented, but her as an actress, she's dope as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a pretty nice list. Queen Latifah is on that list for me too. Like Queen Latifah Cole. And
Absolutely.
she recently has a project or made a project with DJ. My gosh, I forget. Uh, oh my gosh, it's called Legends or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was.
It's
But
a TV show or a
no,
movie?
no, no. It's a album. She's rapping
Oh,
again.
she's back.
She's rapping again. And still kicking that old school shit like she used to. So it's yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. She
Oh no, I didn't know about the album. Like I said, she's multi-talented, but yeah, that's tight. That's tight. I know she finna come step on next.
man, no, they got a video out for it and everything. I think it's K Slay. I think it's DJ K Slay.
I gotta look into that.
Yeah,
I gotta look into that. Times like these, we probably need her.
man, come on now. So then, did that these people help shape you to become the actress-preneur? And then how did you even get the name actress-preneur? Like, how did that name come about?
So yeah, they did. Well, okay. So the people I named, Will Smith and all the black independent, strong women actresses, Wakanda Forever,
Okay.
all of them, they shaped my acting perspective, my acting side, and they also showed me like, hey, like you can direct, produce, you can be all of that in the industry. So yeah, they shaped that side of me. But as far as like the entrepreneur side, that more so came from like my mom and my grandma, because they always said like, yeah, be the best actress you can be, but also like work for yourself, make your own movies, do your own thing, and like I was like, okay, I do want to be an entrepreneur in the acting field and other things because I was always good at. You're always good at other things.
Yeah.
I think so. I think everybody's multi-talented. Whether you're like a actor and then a carpenter, that's still a talent that you can make money off of. So they always push me to, engage in other things that I like to do, build off that, run businesses, be strong and independent. They just push me to be better. So I knew acting was my main focus, but then I had other things that I like to do part-time too. So that's where entrepreneur came in, because I can make stuff and sell it. I can do hair, nails. I can shoot, I can lay down some carpet. What's up?
You got to throw with a hammer and some nails, selling hair and doing carpet. Okay.
And a tape measure, we got it.
He said I can make sure your hair is 50 inches long, measured.
Okay.
Professional.
So they definitely shaped me being an actress and an entrepreneur. And then ACTRESSPRENURE came in 2015 when I realized, like, I can be an actress, I could book myself, I could do this, I can do that. So once I found out, like, I could do anything, everything, any and everything in the industry, I was like, okay, I got it. That's me. That's my brand. Actress and entrepreneur. ACTRESSPRENURE. Boom. So that's just who I am.
Okay, that's what's up. So then, like, let's backtrack a little bit. So we know, okay, how you became ACTRESSPRENURE. Now, so how did you? Cause well, okay, let's start there. So what did you come into first? Acting was your first love, or did you start off being an entrepreneur first?
Acting came first. I was like 2 years old and I just knew what I wanted. I was watching TV and I don't remember. I don't remember this until I got like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like somewhere a little bit older. But I was like 2, and my mom, my uncle, and my grandma, they were standing there, and they see me watching TV, and I was like, I want to be that. I want to be a star movie, all on TV and stuff like that. Like I can do it better. And then once I got older and more, better with my words, more conscious of the world. And I was watching Disney Channel. That's So Raven. Yeah. I was watching That's So Raven. I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. I could be better than them. Like not throwing shade at Raven or anybody, but I just knew I could do it and I could be really good at it. So acting came first, and when I got to 6th grade, that's when okay, let me backtrack a little bit. Once I told my parents and my uncle, hey, I want to be in a movie, movie star. I was what's the word? I was cast in a diaper commercial with my little sister.
Oh.
And yeah, it was like a National Gerber commercial. Of course, it was like 1999, so it's lost files. We didn't have phones and stuff like that then.
Yeah.
So it's a lost file, but definitely I started with a commercial then. And then when I got to 6th grade, I did my first big theatrical credit. It was Aristocats. It's like a classic movie about cats, cartoons. And I landed like a big role, my first time in a freaking play, and I landed a big role. I just knew, like, I was like, oh, I was born for this. Like, and like everybody was kind of mad. That's when West Side Theater Guild had Little People's Theater. That was like my first big thing, and it was 6th grade for me. So that was like 07, I think like 07 or 08, one of those. But yeah, after that, I kind of took off. I went to Emerson Visual Performing Arts School for theater, of course. Then I went to Chicago Performing Arts Academy. I just kept training until like, yeah, I even went to college for theater. And then came 2015. I had did so much training. Hey, I had did so much training. I was like, okay, I'm ready to go out into the world and show people my brand, show people who I am. And yeah, now we're here.
Okay. So what are some of the other shows that you were in? You said you was in Aristocats back when you was in a Gerber diaper commercial. You was in Aristocats. So now, like, what are some of the other plays leading up until now that you were in?
My second big play was Domino Effect. I thought that was so cool because, like, that was in 2016. We spent 6 months together working on that play, just perfecting it, and that was kind of
something you created.
Huh?
That was something you created?
No. It was I met somebody in Chicago. They created it, and it was like his first time putting on a play or second time. He was still like very new to it, so it took us 6 months to perfect that, and it was so good. We sold out 2 nights in a row, and then we went on a little tour around Illinois, so that was nice. And we even did a part 2, but then after part 2, like, everybody went on to do their own thing, but we're still family. We're still connected. I could call any of them and be like, hey, what's up? So I love Domino Effect because we got so close. Then I worked for Felicia T. Simpson Productions. She cast me in a few plays. It was like Love 'Em All, Karma, God Do I Hear Wedding Bells. Basically, like, I was really tight with her and her production company that she kept calling me back. And I love them because it was always like a family thing. Like, I love theater because we always become family at the end because we spend so much time together. And that's a long time connection. So those are my theatricals. And then I started doing like TV and films. I started with Empire, thought that was super cool. Like, my first time on Empire, I seen Nia Long, and I was just like, oh my god, she is so fine. Like I said, that was on my list of actresses. I loved her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my god, fucking Nia. And then I seen Taraji, and I'm like, oh my god, like I was starstruck because I'm like, these are people I grew up watching, and now I see them in person. I'm like, oh, you're just as amazing in person. And then, like, being around celebrities so much, after a while, I was like, they're regular people, but they're still like good, hard-working regular people. They're inspirational because they worked hard to get where they're at today. So I just look up to them. I still get starstruck because of that. Not even starstruck, just like an inspo thing. I'm super inspired. But then I got my own role on Southside. It's a Comedy Central series. I got to work with, like, I did music videos, but I wasn't a video vixen. But I also learned that music videos were not my thing. See, that's the thing about, like, the industry. You try new things all the time, and you're like, okay, I like this. I don't like this. But it was fun. It was a lesson. Nothing bad ever happened. It's just music videos not my thing. I'd rather, like, actually be an actress. Then my short film, The Fifth Room, that was like an independent project, but it was a passion project. It was so good. And that was my first time being cast as an older person. Because, I mean, as you can see, I look like 12. I look 12.
That's youthful. You wanna look like 12, even when you turn 50.
Right, but she cast me as a 30-year-old in that show. I mean, in that movie. So I was like, yeah, thank you for helping me show off my diversity. Like, I played a young role in Southside. I was like the big little sister, but I was like 15, and I went to 30 in the film. So I was like, yeah, give me my range. Yeah. I was on the Steve Harvey show too. So, like, just being in LA, being around Chicago, I just, I build myself up. I earn my credits, I feel like. And just learning every step of the way. That's all that's important to me, building.
So who keeps you grounded? Like, you spoke on, Nia Long and all of those people being so inspirational because they were grounded, they were real life people. And I know that being an actress and sometimes, like, being in front of the camera, your ego gets kind of inflated a little bit. So who are some of those people that help keep you grounded?
My family. I'm glad you asked that because that's such a good question. That it's like, because, yeah, I always tell people who like, they'll see me working and then they'll hit me up like, hey, like, I want to do that. How you do that? I'm like, you do this, but hey, just remember, you can get lost in the sauce. Like you can definitely, that I have to stay grounded, like you said. And the people who keep me the most grounded is my grandma and my siblings, my sister, and my brothers, because they remind me of, like, my purpose. They remind me where my heart is. They remind me, like, that I'm still a real person. Like, I'm not a robot like they play celebrities to be. So I can still function as a real person and do regular things. I still have a heart. Because you don't want to ever lose your heart in the industry. It's an evil world we live in.
Yes, very much so.
It's an evil world. So, like, they just help me remember my purpose and why I do what I love, and to keep doing what I love, so that way I stay happy. Because the minute I'm unhappy, oh, they all feel it. They feel me. They feel that, okay?
The wrath of Shakira.
The wrath.
Right.
So, yeah, they definitely help me keep, like, a level head and put me in a good space and everything. Just being around them, it helps me, like, just stay balanced. And balance is super important. like between the world and like your life. Like, man, like I said, don't get lost in the sauce, because it's easy to just slip into some other shit that's not yours at all.
Yeah. So then, now we get into with being an actress, with being an entrepreneur, and all of the other things that you're doing. How do you time manage, and then how important is time management? So like, what techniques do you use to help manage your time, and then what is the importance of those tools and time management and being able to accomplish your goal?
See, and that's something I'm still working on personally.
Mm.
Cause like I said, I just started like my brand basically in 2015. So I'm still a newbie. I'm still fresh to the game.
What's
Take
the
your
brand?
time, Pastor. Take your time.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Look,
But yeah,
it's so
I'm
inspirational. It just brings something out of me.
I
Trying to get the
feel you.
water
I'm
down
trying
and
to
it
touch
brings it
your
out.
heart. But yeah, like it's dang, what was I saying? I'm still a newbie, still fresh to the game. So like I'm still figuring things out by myself too. So
Hmm.
like I keep a planner. I have a dry erase calendar on top of that. And then
Okay.
on top of that I have a regular calendar. And then I even use my notes on my phone. I just write things down all the time. And if I write them over and over again, it's gonna be ingrained in my mind, or
Hmm.
it'll become a habit or a routine. Just trying to keep myself on track, just writing everything down. That's how I manage my time, or try to. But man, social media, it gets in the way sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I can scroll for hours, then I look up like, damn, like I wasn't productive today. Like I let time fly by.
Yeah.
Freaking Twitter. Uh,
Yes. Yes. Uh oh. Who's that?
that's my baby. Come here, Candy. Trying to give me kisses. Hey yo.
Oh, that's a beautiful dog.
But she'll get super comfortable in my lap, so I can't let her do that.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah,
So.
time management's hard, and then especially like they got us home with this coronavirus stuff.
Yeah.
It's extra hard because working from home
Mhm.
and being distracted by my family. Oh my gosh, it makes it such a challenge. Cause I had things like this happen right here. I'm like I'm like trying to work, and then she'll come cry like I want to go outside, or my sister, somebody want to talk, or grandma needs help, and I don't have a problem with that, but you cut into my time.
Yeah. And then that brings me into another question. So then, what is the importance of being able to say no? Because I know even with excellent time management skills, if your plate gets full, then there are certain things you won't be able to do. You're only one person. So how important is the time management skills that you have, um, coupled with how important is saying no to certain things, or you know rearranging your schedule or something like that.
Yeah, like it's super important to say no. You can't say yes to everything because you're just one person at the end of the day. So like sometimes, most of the time, I have to say no to like the fun stuff that I used to do all the time, that I used to have time for, like hanging out, smoking, drinking, chilling. And I don't mind it like on the weekends or when I have time. But shoot, now I'm working on the weekend like usual too, so I gotta say no to everything. But then I'll designate like my self care time, which would be like a week in
Mm,
after like 6 months of work, or I'll figure it out. Like I'll schedule in some self care, me time, where I
okay.
just take a break from everything and just kind of recenter myself, refocus. But yeah, I say no a lot. I will say that I say no a lot, and even to random people hit me up like, "Hey, let's make a video, let's do this," and I'm like, I know you're not serious, so no. But like to you, I say yes because you're serious about your craft. So
Thank you.
like
Thank
people who
you.
are serious, I can work with. People who just want to waste my time, I gotta say no. I have to, because we can't get our time back, and shoot, we don't even know how
Mm.
much time we have left, judging by all this crisis stuff.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I think it's important to use your time wisely all the time.
I hear that. So back into the acting. How was? Were you nervous the first time you acted?
No. I
Really?
mean, yes, I had like normal butterflies, but not like stage fright. I never had stage fright. I was always like super comfortable. I don't know why. I
Hmm.
just like getting in front of people and just humiliating myself, I guess.
I want.
I guess that's what it is.
So, what are some of the techniques that you employ in your acting, or that? What are some of the things that you learned as an actress to help you become a better actress?
Um, I know I learned that like experience is key in my acting like all the time, because say like I gotta play a doctor.
Uh huh.
If I've never seen a doctor, if I've never known a doctor, if I've never even watched a doctor before, how will I know how to act like a doctor? So
Mm.
experience is super important. Even if I'm just like in the room and I see a doctor like poke somebody with a needle, that's a little bit of experience, because at least like now I know how to work a needle or something. Something simple and basic as experience is super important in acting, because like emotion is important too. If you've never
Mm.
felt that emotion before, how are you supposed to express it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in acting, I I bring myself to the character, but I also bring the character to myself. So it's a mix of like creating and imagining my own. Like, okay, what would I want to? What would I do if I was this character? If I was like a thug, I would think like this. I would move like this, based off what I've seen or learned before, and that's where the experience come in. So imagination and experience put together, it brings out my acting. And on top of that, like, I have a lot of feelings, man.
I feel things, man.
I feel things.
Yeah.
I'm a Pisces. I'm empathetic. I'm sympathetic.
Yeah.
So I feel things. So I have to express it through my acting, through the words, or through the actions of another character. Because doing it for myself is so hard. I'm like, they're like, "What are you feeling, Kira?" I'm like, I, I feel sad, or I don't know why I feel sad. But then I can go and act like a person. They'll give me a reason to feel sad, like, oh, I feel sad in this movie because my grandma died. So now I can
Mm.
push my sadness off into that character and be like, yeah, I'm sad because grandma died, but that's in a play, not in real life.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I don't have to express myself at the end of the day. I just push it off onto another character. Yep. Now I don't have to talk about my feelings. I'm not a feelings type of guy.
Yeah, that's funny. So what's as far as okay, so you said that you don't you push your feelings off onto your other character. So is acting
Hmm.
therapeutic for you?
Yeah, yeah. That's a good question. Yes, it is. It's my form of expression. Honestly, truthfully, it's I get to just take on other characters and be myself and not look crazy.
Hmm.
Cause like in my head, I have a million people like talking to me and shit,
Uh
telling
oh.
me how they feel and shit, and
Uh
telling me
oh.
what they want to do, and I'm like,
Sure you're
well, I
not
can't.
schizophrenic? Are we
I
okay over
don't
there?
know. I don't know. I don't know, but don't even tell the doctor. I don't tell the doctors. I'm
Okay.
like, nothing's wrong with me. I don't want to be diagnosed or none of that. I don't want to take crazy pills.
Right. You know what to quiet them down.
Right. I mean, I'm cool with them as long as I can push that energy off, or use that energy wisely. Let me say
Mm.
that. As long as I can use that energy going into something positive, like putting on a play or being in a play, TV show, or acting with my friends, making skits and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, I got this character in my head. You be that person. That's a piece of me. You be this person. That's another piece of me. I'm getting all these voices out.
Yeah.
And we just being creative. And I think I have so much going on in my head because I'm a creative. I'm always like, I want to innovate. I want to create. I want to do this. I want to do that. I got to stay moving. That's why this shutdown is it's kind of affected me. Like I'm like, what am I gonna do now? Stay in the house and make videos, I guess. But
Yeah.
I like to move around and make videos too. So that's kind of challenging right now too. But it's okay.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people like have adapted. The a lot of my favorite artists and actors and things of that nature has adapted to the virus by just going live, and even
Yeah.
Erica Badu is having a live concert. I don't know exactly
Yep.
when, but she's having a live concert. On I think it's on IG, on her IG live.
Yeah, and
Dude,
Sway Lee from Ray Shrim, he
yeah,
was live last night too, having a concert, crowd surfing by himself. I said, "Wow." Yeah, a lot of creators have just adapted. They're like, "Well, now I have more time to stay home and create, which is good. That's why I said this is good, but it's also like, dang, I'm an extrovert. I want to get out there and experience some more stuff
Yeah.
so I can bring y'all some more of my experience to the screen, you know?
Yeah.
Man, but it's okay. It is what it is, and it's good balance. I feel like God just hit a reset button. He like, y'all need to sit down. Y'all need to chill for a 2nd. You fucking up Mother Earth.
Get inside.
Get inside. I need to do a couple things.
So then, how did you break into the industry?
How did I break into the industry? I think it was actually my first time. So generally you don't need a talent agent, but they're really helpful. They're really helpful in submitting you to like bigger names and bigger clients, like Warner Brothers and Paramount. They'll submit you to those companies when they're producing stuff.
Yeah.
So I had a talent agent in high school, and I was like super excited. I was like, this is it. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to drop out of high school. Yeah, they're going to submit me. I got this. That was when I was like, I didn't know much about the industry. So I was just so ready to drop out and be a famous actress. But it didn't work, obviously. But she put me onto these platforms, because when you get a talent agent, they have to submit you through a platform, and they always tell you sign up for Actors Access and casting networks. That's the universal platform for actors, the main ones at least. There's so many more though. But
what are some of those? Can you tell us what some of those are?
Yeah, so like I said, Actors Access and casting networks, those are like the main two for like TV, film, and commercial, and some plays too, some theater too. And then there's Backstage. That's really universal. It's so big now because anybody can get on it. It's what's the word, unlimited like photos and stuff you can post on it, so people can see like constant work. And it's really good for people who are just starting out and veterans, I feel like, because it has so much information on there. Classes, casting directors, talent agents. It gives you all the information. Then they'll have like a whole bunch of videos teaching you stuff about the industry. So Backstage is a really good one if you're starting out. What else? Casting Frontier, All Casting, just like different platforms for just casting yourself, or agents can get in there, and it's like a higher tier where they can send you to, higher productions and stuff. So, by yourself, you got like the main stuff that everybody sees, but then with an agent, you got way more shit, and they submit for you. So they do all that work, and you don't have to submit no more by yourself when you're down here.
Yeah.
But so my agent put me on to those platforms, and I learned how to submit myself on there. That's how I broke into the industry, because I learned to navigate the website, submit myself. I read about the casting. I read the blogs. I watch the videos. Just a whole bunch of like online training, basically. So it was really cool. I learned a lot being on there. And then I got my first credit on Taylor Bennett's project, Broad Shoulders. Taylor Bennett is Chance the Rapper's little brother.
Yeah, I know who Taylor Bennett is.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
everybody don't know. They be like, who is that? But yeah. So
no, like
my first credit was on there through one of the platforms. So I was like, oh, this is it. All right, bet. And from there, I just knew. I catch on quick. I adapt quick. I will say that. So yeah, from then I just kind of knew, and learn more industry stuff on those platforms, and just went from there and kept submitting myself and doing bigger and bigger things, bigger and better things each time. And also Facebook, social media, like I said, social media can get in the way, but it's the times now, you know what I mean? So casting will get on Facebook, and they'll go through their personal friends list and be like, hey, I'm looking for this, can y'all send me recommendations? And like it works, because people, word of mouth is strong, and people are more likely to pick somebody that they trust. And if you're my Facebook friend, that must mean we've met before, we've connected before, I can trust you in some type of way. So casting will get on social media and be like, hey, like, your work is up there, I see your profile, hopefully it's your honest and true self, not a catfish. cast you from here. And a lot of my bigger projects
Yeah.
came from Facebook, to be honest. And it's just that personal connection that made it so much easier. So social media is a good thing now in the industry, but it's also hard because then I keep strolling my memes and seeing my friends' funny ass shit. I'm like, I know I'm supposed to be working, but this shit is so fun. It's so funny.
I love it. Yeah,
I
social
love
media
the
is a black hole,
memes.
man. It's a black hole for time.
It definitely is too.
Yeah. So then now let's I guess get into more of the business side of acting, because you said that your actor, your talent agents and everything submitted your information to the website. Then you took it upon yourself to learn. So
Yeah.
I know when you got into your first acting gig that you have to sign a contract, and then how did you go about navigating to make sure that you receive proper compensation or payment, or to make sure that you were being treated fairly within your contractual agreement with whatever company you was acting with.
Well, I was for like smaller productions, they're not contracted. You don't start getting like bigger contracts until you become a part of SAG, which is the Actors Union. Basically, just a labor union for actors
Oh,
and
cool.
artists, industry artists, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's when you actually start getting bigger contracts because now you're part of the union. So you got to pay union fees, and then they got to pay you labor fees, obviously, because you're acting for their production. Oh, excuse me, and then taxes, medical, all that stuff. So that's when the bigger contracts come in. But like as of now, all I have to sign is like NDAs and release forms. Like, hey, don't tell nobody about my production, but I'm gonna use your face and all your likeness and photography stuff in it, all that stuff.
What's the
So
NDA?
I haven't dealt with any big contracts yet, and I think actually I was told by many professionals in the industry. They said when it gets to that point, you have to have an agent or a manager or a lawyer because they just productions don't negotiate with actors because they know how that go. Like you said, me doing it by myself, it could get messy. You know what I mean? They could take advantage of me. So they have to go through like a legal affair to, get me on their team if they want to. They would not do it with me at all. And that's just what I learned from industry professionals. So right now, I'm not even at that point, but I'm getting there. Look, with coronavirus going on, I'm talking to these agencies like, hey, when this shit clear up, you want to sign me? They're like, yeah, but let me wait. Let me wait till it clear up. I'm like, all right.
Look, putting in, hey, using this time wisely, sowing them seeds.
Exactly.
That's how you got to do it. So what is it? What is an NDA?
A non-disclosure act. So basically, I sign it. I can't say nothing about what I'm working on because, like, if I tell the play or if I tell the plot, then people won't want to see it because they know it. It's like when people get online and ruin Power or some favorite TV shows, Empire and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You already ruined it. I don't want to see it no more. So NDAs are just for that. I won't say nothing. I won't post nothing on social media, so nobody will find out. So they'll go see it for themselves, essentially.
See, I don't know, I'm a weirdo in that case, in the fact that even if my favorite thing to do when reading books was like to read the last page of the book. I would always read the end of the book, then I would go back to the beginning and then figure out how it led up to the end of the book. So even if somebody tell me how something ends, literally I would already know how it ends, but be so excited to find out, like, okay, so how did these things transpire to get it here?
That's crazy.
Like, so I'm impatient to some degree. So I would love to know exactly how it went down. So if I know, like, now I'm like, ooh, okay, so now I want to know how to get there. Like, how did it even get there? So yeah. I guess I'm weird like that. So you can tell me how something ends, but I'm still gonna go see it because I want to see everything in between.
I knew some people in high school that was like that. So that's not weird at all, but it just shocks me because I'm like, why don't you want to watch it? Like the suspense, the build up, that gives me like such a thrill.
See, but so we get the same thrill. Well, at least I get the same thrill, but I just know like I know pretty much what's gonna end, like or how it's gonna end. Like plot twists and stuff like that doesn't necessarily come in the ending, but you know how it's gonna end. So you don't, like I said, you don't necessarily know how it's gonna get there. Like if I see the last 5 minutes of a movie, I'm probably not gonna know what happened in the beginning, what transpired in the beginning. And a lot of movies are built like that, to where they show the end of the movie in like the first 5 minutes, and then show the end. And so,
That's true.
like you're feeding me at that point.
That's true. That's true. Some movies do start with the end. So yeah, you're not completely wrong.
Well, thank you. I try to be as right as possible at all times, but I can accept being wrong though. But okay, so let's move into the entrepreneur side of things, right? So we talked about the actress part, so let's talk about the entrepreneur part and
Okay.
what exactly Beauty Club is.
Ooh, Actresspreneur Beauty Club. So that is my new business I'm working on. Basically, it's my like how did I word it at first? It slipped my mind that quick. It's like my boutique. So a lot of people are like, you should sell merch. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sell merch. And then I was like, but I want to sell art because I like drawing. I
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, I like making like quotes and posters and stuff like that. Just like inspirational stuff,
Yeah.
just to remind people like, hey, I'm still a regular person, so you can do it too. If I'm regular, you regular, we all regular. We can do great things. So I want to sell like inspirational art, and that's the department that I'm working on now. Right now, I started with like the merch department because that was the easiest and the most accessible. And then each department I'm gonna build on later. So it's a process. Um, so my merch is up. My art department I'm working on, like I said, inspirational pictures and quotes. And then the beauty department, because I'm a natural actress. Like I try not to. I don't do like lashes and makeup all the time, and I do my hair, but these are protective styles because I
Right,
have
I
a
do my
natural
hair as well.
right, right. Gotta be like on fleek, you
Right,
know what I
on fleek.
mean? So yeah, like I wear natural protective hairstyles. Like I just try to stay natural as possible
Hmm.
and working out and doing the mantras, just letting people know like if you want to look natural or have good skin or a good body like Megan Thee Stallion, you got to work for it too. And being natural is not easy. Like we do a lot over here. So that's the beauty club part of it. Like I wanted to sell natural oils, natural scrubs, natural like hair remedies that I use to grow my hair out and stuff like that. Because people in Indiana are not as cultured as like other places. Like I
Hmm.
travel a lot, so I learn and experience a lot. And like I always make this joke when I was in Cali and in Atlanta and Missouri. I was like, every girl got like long hair and a fat ass. I come back to Indiana and they just like ugly with bald head.
Jeez, man. All right, hold on. Don't be talking about my city like that. You don't even come to my city like that, man.
No, but I always make that joke because I'm like, Indiana don't have sun like Cali do. They
Mm.
get the sun all the time, so they get their vitamin D and they vitamin C and they
Mm-hmm.
melanation every
Mm-hmm.
day. So they get their oils and the essentials every day. We don't. We get this gloomy shit, so we a little bit more bald head than the rest of the world. Okay, I notice it's a major difference in the girls here and the girls there. Okay,
Yeah.
and it's no offense, because like in Atlanta, they have good food. The South has really good fat thickening food. You know, all
Uh-huh.
the girls got fat booties.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And
Uh-huh.
up here we got desert food. I don't know why, because it's a farm state, whatever. But we have desert food. We got hood food. It's a lack of like good essential food, nutritional food here,
Mm.
unless you in like Dyer or like the white areas, the white populated areas. But even so, like it's a food desert. I think Indiana as a whole is a food desert, which is sad because, like I
Mm.
said, we're a farm state, so there's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
But we don't have good food and we don't get good weather, so we don't, I don't think we get the essentials that we need here. So like I try to implicate that in my beauty club. I'm like, hey, like the rest of the world gets this, we should get this too. This is how you can naturally take care of yourself all the time instead of dealing with this bullshit here. Because I had girls who were like, I'm gonna just do a petamine, or I think that's what it's called, to like speed up the process of making their butt fat and their hair long. And I'm
Oh.
like, let's go a more natural route. Come to
Yeah.
my beauty club, you'll find out. You know what I mean? So just stuff along the line. And then like I'm partnered with my sister too, All Natural Cam. She has like a fitness plan.
Mm.
No, a fitness club, excuse me.
Mm.
She does fitness. So, I try to throw in exercise plans like, hey, you want that booty? Do that. You want some arms? Do that. Stay toned and flexible and stuff like that. Just to remind people, like, you still got to put in that work to look good. Black don't crack, but you still want to work on it,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So,
So
yeah, that's the Actressspreneur Beauty Club. It's just like a 3-part store that I'm working on, building on, and stuff like that.
Oh,
just to remind people like it's simple. Just be yourself. It's simple.
mm. So how is the acting portion of your life applicable to the entrepreneur portion of your life? Like how do those translate into each other?
Well, cause act okay. To be real, like actors by themselves, they don't make a lot of money. Okay, so and to be a millionaire, you have to have 6 to 7 sources of income starting out. So like
Mm.
as a beginner actor, it's like you have to be an entrepreneur because you have to build on so much. Like you got to get your own pictures, and you gotta make like your own material in the time being until you get cast in somebody else's big project. You just got to do so much on your own as an actor in the beginning that like it's kind of like forcing you to be an entrepreneur because you're building yourself. You are the package, you are the brand, and you have to sell yourself and get people to notice you, and see that you're worthy enough to be in their project. So it's just so much that I have to do that I was just like, fuck it, I'm be an entrepreneur. I act, I direct, I produce, I edit, I do casting too. I was
Oh,
also
nice.
an acting coach. I was a teacher. So like every aspect in the industry that surrounded acting, I was trying to do. So I was like, I think that makes me an entrepreneur. And I was like, yeah, it does. Because I was like casting myself in my own films that I directed, produced, and edited. So I was like,
Okay.
yeah, I think that makes me an entrepreneur. I put the package together, I'm selling it. So yeah, that sounds about right to me.
Right. So you said you were teaching. What did you teach?
Acting.
Oh, okay. So you taught acting. What I was
Hmm.
gonna say, you was talking about dropping out of school. Like, I hope you did. Did you drop out of school? You stayed in, right? Just to.
No, no, I definitely stayed in high school. I dropped out of college, but
Okay.
college is not required. So that's
Uh,
that.
okay. So the acting is pretty much what made you drop out of college because you seen that your life was going more towards that path. Correct. Or.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
And
Well.
I mean, college ain't for everybody. So that's why I'm like, I'm not telling everybody to drop out. I'm only saying do it if it's beneficial to you.
Mm,
Because I have friends that stay in and they're doing just as fine. That's why I'm like, yeah, like if that's for you, do it. I didn't like college very much. I knew what I wanted to do and how to do it, so I just left college alone because it wasn't like super beneficial to me. I could have benefited off it though because like they had resources. I could have met more people. I could have just like engaged in more of the community. But it is what it is. I got out into the real world a little bit before my friends and like got to see and experience things that they didn't yet.
so what are some of those things that you got a chance to experience that they didn't? The people.
Well, I was traveling more first, like getting around. I went to New York and I was like already in a film and stuff, and everybody was like, "What?" And that was like when I was 19. So at 19, that was huge.
Yeah.
Me and all my 19-year-old friends like, "Oh shit, this is crazy! Like you're
You
traveling and
big
being in
now.
shit." Yeah, like being on TV and shit in New York. Like New York is expensive. That's
Yeah.
like our number one expensive state here. So like that was huge at 19. And then I got to like meet people. I learned how to build like some things they don't teach you in college. Like they don't teach you a lot in high school. And in the real world, well, not like the real world, but when I dropped out and had to like go be an adult in the real world, I learned some of those things that like my friends didn't learn in college or high school, such as building a freaking business. And if you didn't take business classes, of course, but such as building a business and traveling and seeing weird things happen. And like it's some crazy shit that go on in LA that people sheltered in Indiana they don't see or know about.
Like
So
what?
like yeah, life just got crazy, and I like it got to a point where I tell my friends and they wouldn't believe me. I'm like yeah, y'all, I really got chased down the street by like Steve Harvey, I don't know, with a knife.
You got to.
No, but I'm just saying I experienced crazy things along with like things that were essential too.
Mm. So what are some of the wild things that happen out there when you were
In
traveling
LA.
with your travels? Period. Like what are some
Oh,
of the
with my
wildest
travels,
things? Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
Oh my
Some of the
God, my
wildest
number
stories you
one
got.
thing. Okay, wild story. Uh, I don't know if I can think of one off back, but for sure, like the number one thing that happens to me every time I travel, I get followed. I get followed like
Really?
yes, like wherever I'm going, I get followed, and I get it. I'm a cute little black girl, and Archon. We always get sex trafficked. We always get kidnapped
Mm.
because we look like we can't fight, or we look, you know, an
Defensive.
easy target.
Yeah.
We just look like an easy target or whatever. So me looking 12, people would follow me home and try to like pick me up and take me for a ride. Like, hey, you need help, little girl? You need a ride? Can I take you home? Where you going? You know, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then I open my mouth and they say I'm a grown ass woman.
Uh-huh. You start hitting them with them words that 12-year-olds don't necessarily know how to use well yet.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And then I always stay strapped up, okay? Either I
Okay.
got a taser,
Bang
a
bang.
knife. Okay.
Ra-ta-ta.
I even got one of those police beat 'em sticks. Yeah, I
A
stay
nice stick.
strapped.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cause it's crazy out there. Like I've never been kidnapped, but I know like that happens to little girls every day who just don't know. They're like, yeah, I'll take a ride from you, and never show up again. You know.
Mm.
So that's the number one thing that always happens when I travel. I try to tell people like, don't talk to strangers because they're crazy. One chased me on a scooter one time because he wanted to holler, and I
Chased
wasn't
on
trying to
a
have
scooter.
it. Huh?
You got chased on a by somebody on a scooter?
I was on a scooter and
Oh,
he
you was.
chased me on his feet. That's why I was like,
Wow.
you keeping up pretty fast. This is
Yo.
it was scary. It was scary. And then like I've had people pull over and try to pick me up like, hey, I can take you home. And I'm like, dude, if I get in your car, I'm going to rob you and I'm gonna have a new car. So you might want to keep driving.
Little do they know, I'm from GI. Shoot.
Right.
I will definitely go straight GI on you.
Little did they know. That's why I
Little
was
did
like,
they
it's
know.
plenty of times where I wanted to get in the car, but I just like, I knew it was a fight that I didn't feel like putting up. Okay.
She said I wanted a brand new car.
Right. Period.
So
I
then,
definitely
like,
did.
so I know self defense is really important. And have you taken any self defense classes or anything like that?
Oh yeah, yes. My mom was a single mom, and I was her first oldest girl. Yes,
Mm.
she put me in them classes. Okay, I
Mm.
was not playing. She wasn't playing.
How helpful were they?
They were super helpful. I definitely know how to like. I know how to get out of a headlock. I can like, you know, if a guy like a predator runs up on me, I know how to protect myself. I even learned how to take a gun out of somebody's hand. So they were super helpful. Like I can definitely defend myself. That's for sure. And then me being the oldest of four, like I passed that down to my siblings, and I made sure they knew how to fight. Like I would beat them up. I'm like, look, you gonna learn how to fight, okay? And now I can say they can beat me up, and I'm proud. I'd rather them know how to beat me up than not to. Okay.
Yeah. So
But
what are some of the arts that you've learned, the martial arts that you've learned?
just like basic self defense and like basic boxing. Other than that, like me being a dancer, you know, because there's dance fighting. Me being a dancer helped me to be like flexible and move fast and stay on my toes. I feel
Mm.
like that's super important in a fight. Shoot,
Yeah.
like okay, some people move really slow, and I'm like, okay, if I can just dodge, get out the way real quick, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Look.
So, what else? I'm trying to think. Growing up, yeah, I think that's all I did. So like, just me being quick on my feet and being able to like throw the right jabs versus just throwing random jabs. It,
Yeah.
it has brought me a long way, for real.
Okay.
And
Well,
I've never like had somebody like run up on me and try to grab me or beat me up or anything. But you know, I'm just prepared for when the day comes.
mhm. I'm glad you're safe. Like I'm glad you was able to get out of those situations relatively unscathed.
Yeah, and I always say it's because like your energy, you attract what you are. So when I went to LA, I always tried to keep positive, keep a good energy. And I'm not saying like, you know, bad things happen to good people, good things happen to bad people. It is what it is. The universe works how it works. But I tried to stay positive, and I told God, I was like, hey, I want to attract good people because I'm a good person.
Mm.
So please keep that same energy around me,
Yeah.
and it would work most of the time. I feel like that worked for me. I
Right.
don't know what works for other people, but that worked for me where I was never put in a dangerous situation because I was always positive. I said I am protected, so like nothing can go wrong, and if it does, then it was meant to happen, and I'm gonna get myself out of it. Period.
I know that's right. So then, how much has, because you spoke on God, how much has your religion or your belief in God, how much has that helped you stay sane or help you stay afloat? in this business, in this world, even.
A lot that carried me a long way. And I'm not religious per se, because like religion, in my opinion, I ain't trying to start no argument with nobody,
Mm.
but religion in my opinion is man-made. So I like to be more spiritual, in tune with like the universe, and kind of like, it is what it is. I'm a free thinker. I feel what I feel. My
Mm.
intuition is right. Somebody's guiding me. I call him God because that's what we were taught. That was like the simplest thing growing up. So I'm like, okay, the person that's guiding me is God, but I essentially know it's a higher being of myself. Like, it's a higher version of myself
Mm.
spiritually
Mm.
leading me to, where I need to be and what I need to do. So that's taken me a long way, just kind of like listening to my intuition and
Mm.
my guides, and my ancestors. Don't get me wrong, my black ancestors be speaking, okay?
All right, all right, I hear you.
Especially when I'm cooking, I'm seasoning food. They like, that's enough. I'm like, I got you, thank you.
Thank you, great,
So,
great, great, great grandma.
right,
Like, yo, I
literally.
knew
So,
your greens was the best.
so like they really carried me a long way, and just helped me keep a good head, because anytime I like think bad, or think something's gonna go wrong, or like try to be a mean person, because everybody has two sides. You're a good
Mm-hmm.
person and you're a bad person on the inside. But the one side I show to the world is my good side, because like, one, if I be bad, my spirits attack me. They're like,
Mm.
what is you doing? And I get instant karma, so I don't feel good about that.
Mm.
So yeah, they keep me on the right path, for sure. Because anytime I think about making a bad decision, it's like I instantly see or feel the consequences. I'm like, I don't want that, so I'm gonna just stay away from it.
Okay.
I try to be good, because I know in the long run, being a good person, it'll pay off, and like everybody around me will be happy and fed. It'll pay off for me and everybody who stick with me, even if they're not like with me. The world, I want the world to know, like, you should be a good person. Like, it affects everybody in a good way, and yourself. You'll feel good about it.
So then going into the teaching side, so can you speak more on your teaching class, yeah, your actress or actor training classes?
Yeah. So with teaching acting, I started with kids. So I worked kindergarten through. Did I go to 12th grade? Yeah, kindergarten through 12th grade. I started with kids, and I mean, it was fun. I worked for this company called Drama. Dang,
Mm-mm.
what was the name of that company? Drama
Mm-mm.
Rocks.
Uh-oh.
I can't even remember it.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God. Drama Kids. There we go. So I work for this company called Drama Kids, and they really put me on to like teaching acting, teaching theater, and just working with kids, because like through their program, I would travel to different schools and teach their curriculum. So it was already like a structure of what to
Of
do in the
course.
program and stuff like that. So that really guided me, because then I started doing private lessons through like lessons.com, or just like my friends calling me like, hey, can you teach me acting? Can you give me some tips, stuff like that? So I learned through Drama Kids, and I also learned through my internships. So I did internships at a acting school
Mm.
and a talent agency, and I would work with actors all the time, kids and adults, but mostly kids. So my experience really lies with the kids, but I also have experience working with adults, just doing like one-on-one sessions, helping them act, giving them tips and guiding them in the industry, and giving them like the platforms that I told you about earlier and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's my acting. One day I want to open my own acting school and show people like, you can be an actress and entrepreneur, because essentially, like I said earlier, as an actor, you're forced to be an entrepreneur, because you got to build yourself up, your package up, and sell it. So that's what I want to do. I want to open up my own acting school one day, after I got like enough experience in this industry. I'm like, okay, I can teach you. I can give you a book or something like that.
So what are some of the things that you teach in this course, like for actors or actresses?
So acting techniques that are like super important. Warm up your body, warm up your mind. Because to act, I feel like you gotta like mentally prepare for that. Sometimes
Mm.
you're literally finna transform into a whole nother character or person. So just mentally prepare, warm up, do your meditation if you have to, yoga. Uh, Keeps your mind right, keeps your head on your shoulders. It's super important, so you don't get lost in the sauce.
Mm.
Um, different voice inflection and techniques, projection.
Mm.
Make sure your voice is on track. Make sure your voice matches the character that you're playing. Body movement, that's important because you use your body in acting. So you don't want to do too much, but you don't want to do too little. And then the big difference between like film and TV and theater and commercial, because there's acting of all aspects, all on the spectrum.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't offend nobody when I said spectrum, but there's acting like all on the spectrum, so you got to do it in different ways. Like if you're on TV film, you're not going to yell, but if you're in a theater, you're going to yell, and it's not even yelling; it's projecting your voice so people can hear you in the back.
Yeah.
But if you're in a TV and film, the camera's going to pick that up, so you can talk regular. In a commercial, you're more like cheesy, so maybe you're yelling, but you're overdoing the shit, and you're overdoing your facial expressions. Like, it's just so cheesy, but that's the point of a commercial. And then there's acting online now, where you can just make it your own thing. That's our new world that we living in. So just different acting techniques, comfortability, voice and body movement. Those are like the main things in acting, just like the basics of acting. That's where I'm at in like teaching acting. I do like basic stuff just to get people where they want to be, and then if you want to go further, then I'm learning, you learning, let's learn together.
Yeah. So then, what are your favorite things to act in? Would you rather act in a commercial or on stage doing a play or on TV?
Well, theater is my first love. Like I said, like I like getting in front of people and humiliating myself, I guess. So, like if I could get up on stage, like the stage just feels so good to me. It feels like home. I got these lights shining on me. Everybody looking at me. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, look at me while I do stupid shit. So theater is my first love because I get to really connect with the audience, and like I said earlier, build that family with the castmates and my crew members and stuff like that. It's super intimate, and I love intimacy as a person. So I love theater. That's my first love. And then after that, after that, I'm. Ooh, there we go. Okay, my phone was dying. But after that, I'm gonna say commercial because commercials are so cheesy, and I'm such a corny person.
Yeah.
So I like it. It's fun because like we get to hit those punchlines that everybody be like, "Oh, that's a knee slapper," and they go by so fast too, and they pay. Okay, commercials pay the most.
Huh. Really?
They go by fast and they pay the most. So like I can go and do a commercial. Like one time I did a commercial in 10 minutes and I got paid like $150. I said, okay, if my rate is $150 every 10 minutes, then I can do this.
Yeah. Shoot, let me get a few hours in.
Right. That 2 hours and I'm good. Shoot, that's like what? 369 $1,800 in 2 hours. I hope I did that math right, but either way it go.
What you getting you said about 150? Yeah, 150 over two. That's 300. Then 300. Let's just say, what you're gonna do it multiple days, 5 days a week. So 300 over
Right.
5 is 1,500.
Wait, but like I said, commercials go fast, so it'll be like a 1 day shoot, not like 5 days. So
Oh.
TV and film would more so be like 5 days. And TV and film is fun too. I feel like it's more intimacy with the camera and with the people that you're acting with, but more with the camera. So it's not an audience or anybody that I'm connecting with. It's just a lot of camera work, which is cool too. But it's a little weird because it's like I'm making love to this camera. It's like, or I'm making love with the camera in my face. It's kind of like it's making me uncomfortable, but I can do it, I guess. For y'all, I can make a live porn, is whatever.
So how are like, because a lot of times, when we watch love scenes and stuff like that on, as a consumer or as a person on the other side of the screen, we see such intimate moments and they seem very hot and steamy and passionate. How do you guys feel on the other side of the camera? Because I would like to think it will be weird feeling to be like in the bed with somebody else, grinding on somebody, or committing those acts, unless you're just extremely in a voyeurism, in which case then you're right at home.
Yeah, and that's why I said like in my acting classes, I try to teach the basics, and like I said, you have to mentally prepare for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because now you go from me, I'm going from like a regular big sister to now I'm a wife. Oh my God, in the bed with my husband,
Yeah.
and it's a jump for me. So it takes a lot of training. Excuse me. It takes a lot of training and a lot of like practice with your partner. You got to get comfortable with your partner. Make sure like the moves that y'all are about to do, like what's the word? They go with each other.
Yeah. It look
Um,
natural.
yeah, yeah. So it's just a lot of like scene work with your partner and just kind of like throwing away what you knew and relearning some shit.
Mm.
That's that mental preparation that you have to go through. And like I've never done it. I know how they work. I've seen it, but I've never done it yet. And I don't know if my husband, I'm just practicing for when I get a husband. I don't
You so
know if
funny.
my husband would like that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of intimacy, but people in industry are very intimate people, and they get comfortable very quick. So for some people, it's really easy, especially if they cast you in it. You have to be comfortable with it, and they tell you ahead of time, like way ahead of time. They tell you like, hey, we need to do this. You have to be prepared and okay with doing it. And if the actor says okay, then yeah, they have that experience. They're perfectly fine with the intimacy and comfortability of it. And people in the industry are very touchy feely, so like that comes natural, kind of second nature. There's some freaky motherfuckers in this game, okay?
Okay, so have you run into any of those Harvey Weinstein incidents on set where you've had people be a little bit too touchy feely, or because I know
No.
that could probably, to somebody like me coming in on the set, somebody being too touchy feely could probably translate differently, and somebody may see that as a sexual advance,
Yeah.
as opposed to somebody within the industry who knows that culture on set and knows that okay, actors are very touchy feely anyway. So I
Hmm.
don't see it as a sexual advance. Do you like you see these things, or how do you see these things? Is the question.
I don't know. I've never had that experience. Really, I don't know. People, and another thing is like when there's an intimate scene going on, it's not like they let everybody in the room. It's usually the people being intimate, the cameraman, and the director, and that's it. Like in certain scenes, they do kick everybody out the room, so that way the actors can feel comfortable.
Mm.
Like it's like I said, it's hard to get into that mental,
Yeah.
like to have that mental capability. That's strange. That's crazy. So I haven't gotten to that level yet. I haven't run into any situations like that. I just know how it works based off like me working behind the scenes. Like in a sexual situation, they're not really having sex. The guy will put like a sock on his dick, or they'll be fully clothed under the sheets, and you'll cheat the camera away from that, and it'll look like they're naked. So like that's how the scene works, and most of the time the people doing it are really comfortable with each other, so it makes it even better. But I pray I never run into like Harvey Weinstein nothing, because I know back in the day that was huge, but I think nowadays it's more like voluntary, because some girls are like pushing it. Some girls are like, hey, yeah, I'll fuck you if you put me in this movie or put me in this or that, because
Mm.
the world right now is just so freaky. Everything's so acceptable right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like what Harvey Weinstein and the touchy feely rape cases, I'm not saying that's okay,
Mm.
but I'm saying it's a crazy world we live in.
Okay. So then let's pivot a little bit and go back to your directing hat, because it seemed like you wear a lot of different hats. So what are some of the projects that you've directed?
Oh, so in I think it was 2018, I did a project on depression, because that was a time where I was like,
Mm.
I was coming out of my toxic years. I was transforming from like 19, because I think when you're 19, you're still a teenager, hence teen at the end of it. So I was like coming out of my teenage years into my adult years. Hormones were becoming balanced, kind of. I was
Mm.
just becoming an adult. So like 2018 was the years that I was coming out of my toxic time. I got depressed, and it was like a whole phase where I was just like building myself up. So I was like trying to push my emotions off somewhere else while I was coming out of depression. So I did a film on depression. I said, yeah, I was like so depressed, y'all, because of this, that, all the other. But you know what? I pulled through. I was strong. I made a good choice. And I tried to show people in that video, like, you can do it too. Like, I know you're depressed. I know it's hard. But at the end of the day, you can make the choice to get right and to, like, pull yourself out of that dark place. You don't have to stay there at all. So I did that project. I felt like it got like 2 or 3 thousand views. So I felt like it was super cool. I liked it, but it was low quality at the time. Like that was like my first long project.
Yeah.
Long and meaningful. I'll say long and meaningful because I've done like 10-minute videos, but they were just like goofy skits of me doing like nonsensical shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, then my next project, like that's when I was helping others direct their films. So like I helped people direct their music videos, and then I helped this guy direct a short horror film. So just like different other projects that I was put on for other people. But now since like we're home, I was working on directing another project. I don't want to drop it, but it's coming soon. I'm trying to get it out this week. I've been recording like all weekend.
Okay.
So yeah, that I'm super excited for y'all to see that.
What kind of movie is it? Is it a movie? Is it a
well, it's a trailer. It's a trailer and it's a concept. So I want to put it out there and see if people like it first, and if they do, I'll build off it.
It's
so that's what like a concept of.
Trailer for a movie, trailer for
a trailer. Yeah, a trailer for a movie. My bad. And it's gonna be like a thriller, like a horror thriller suspense. No, not even horror, because nobody's gonna die like gory, bloody death.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be like suspense.
Okay, psychological thriller or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, it's gonna be so cool.
Exclusives.
And then another movie I wanted to write a movie on sex trafficking too, because like I said, I like to touch on like important things. So back then it was depression. Nowadays, like I said earlier, black girls like us, we getting kidnapped and everything. So I just want to like write a real true story on sex trafficking, but that's gonna take a little bit because I need to reach out to survivors. You know what I mean? And I'm not a survivor, but I would like to talk other people's stories out and get their story out so people can see how serious it is, because we're disappearing in numbers. So I think it's important to like enlighten the world, like, hey, this is kind of deep, it's important. And that's what I like to do in my projects. I like to enlighten the world, like, hey, you know what, this is kind of important. It's funny, haha, but it's important.
Okay. So actually I wanted to ask you a little bit about your modeling.
Oh, here come my other dog. Look at him.
Oh, so you have 2 dogs. Hey.
Yeah, I do. We're a dog family over here.
No, trust me, I love dogs as well. Like they're my favorite animals. Well, wolves and dogs.
Get off the couch.
So you model as well.
Wait, hold on. You got hot breath. Oh. He all in the phone. But yeah, I'm a model too. So that was more so like my mom's thing at first, because my mom had 2 girls before she had 2 boys. So she had 2 girls, and she was like, hey, I'm gonna put y'all in self-defense so y'all know how to kick some ass, but y'all gotta be girly too. Like, you can't just be climbing trees and playing in the mud, because that's what we was doing. We went outside, fight boys, climbing trees, playing in the mud. But she was like, y'all gonna have to be a little bit girly. Like, I need y'all to do something girly.
Yeah.
So she put us into modeling, and that's when we also learned how to do hair and nails. So, just balance. I need to be able to kick somebody's ass, but also, get all fleekied up, So yeah, that was my mom. She put me in that at like 13. That's when I first started model training, and then from there I did it every year. So I try to do it every year just to keep the tradition going and to remind people like, hey, I'm girly too. I know I like to humiliate myself and do stupid shit, but I'm girly and I can pop out.
Okay, snap, hero.
Right.
Look. So then, what were one of the biggest hurdles, like, during your whole journey? What was one of the biggest hurdles that you had to overcome, and then how did you overcome it?
Probably consistency. I'm going to say consistency, because, like, I mean, we all know it's hard to be consistent. Maybe not we all, but me. It's hard for me to be consistent because it gets hard for me to stay focused sometimes. Only because, like, I like to start new things. I'd be like, yeah, I'm an actor, but I like to do art too. But I like to do hair too. But I like to do this. But I like to do that. So, like, sometimes I'll start something and drop it because I want to work on something else. Then I'm like, shit. I got to come back to this thing because I started it. I got to finish it. So it's just hard for me to be consistent because there's so many things that I want to do.
Yeah.
And that's where I had to bring in like my time management skills, which is something I'm still working on too. So that's been the biggest hurdle for me. I'm still trying to overcome it. I'm getting better at it though. I'm getting better because it's like if I love doing it the most, then I should do that first.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
other stuff that I like doing like second, third, then then that'll come, and it eventually it all kind of works itself in together. Especially if I like doing these things, I kind of make it all work together, and like, hey, if I could bring y'all all to one platform, that'd be great. Like Hootsuite, that would be great.
Yeah.
So I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to perfect my craft and perfect my brand and my business.
Okay. How did learning how important is managing your finances to being an entrepreneur and to being an actor or actress?
Ooh, super important. I cannot buy things that I want. Okay, that's for sure. I have to buy things I need all the time. So I always am looking to invest in something that will further my career every time. Every time I get a check or some money, I look at it and I break it up like, okay, what can I do with this? I can use this to get that SD card I needed for my camera, or I can do this to get my headshots, or get my hair done for this specific role that I have to play. Every single penny counts towards investing in my future, because like if I buy a new pair of J's, what is that gonna do for me?
Yeah.
It's super important to manage my money, especially if I'm dealing with different businesses and different aspects, everything like and then eventually it all comes together for me, because I was solely acting for like, I think like 2 or 3 years, where I was just doing acting work, and it paid some bills. But then when I added in my entrepreneur work, it like doubled it, tripled it. So I'm like, okay, it's gonna all come together. My entrepreneur work is gonna pay for my acting until my acting can pay off everything.
Yeah.
So it's just important to like keep my finances together. It's hard. It's definitely hard, but it's definitely important. And I taught myself how to manage money a couple of years ago when I first remember I told you about the transformation from teenager to adult.
Yeah. From 19
And
to 20.
yeah, within that transformation, I was like googling how to manage money, and I was reading money management books and stuff like that, because I knew like my career would require that, and I never wanted to get fucked over or scammed or anything like that. So like I just never wanted to fall into any traps, or I never wanted to waste any of my money, because it's a generational curse of ours, honestly. Like my family, my grandma, bad money management. My mom, bad money management. When it came to me, I was like, okay, I watched y'all make y'all mistakes. I don't want to be like that. So, thank you guys for showing me that. Now I know how to manage money better, because I've done the research, and I know how to just invest and spend it wisely. Because obviously we were raised in Gary, which is a hood, and they teach us in the hood, buy all these fancy things so you can be a fancy person. And I'm like, that doesn't really make me happy though. Like if I had a nice new car, or nice new clothes, and nice new shoes, and hair and weave and nails all the time, I mean, yeah, I look good, but do I feel good? Hell no.
Yeah.
So I was never one of those people to do that, because I always was like trying to put my money towards something more important.
All right. I wanted to ask, like, what were some of the techniques that you learned, like the financial techniques that you learned in order to manage finances? What did you learn from Google? What did you learn from those books?
The biggest thing I learned was um to like split my money up. And I think I'm pretty sure this is like a universal rule. I think everybody knows like the 50-40-10 rule, where you invest 50, save 40. Oh no, my phone's dying. But invest 50, save 40, spend 10%. So like, that 10%, that's what I use towards like my hair, if I want to like buy a drink or something, something special for myself, just to treat myself.
Yeah.
But then that 50% I will put towards investing in like marketing, or production, like certain areas of my different businesses that I need to put it towards. And then save the 40% I just save, because I'm like, I might need it in an emergency, especially with what we going through right now. Yeah, trust me, all that saving I did fucking came in handy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
True. So yeah, that's like a basic one that I learned, like the most basic, and I just take it and kind of apply it to every paycheck I get. It doesn't even if I get like $50, I'm like, okay, I'm finna put this towards this because I got monthly, like the platforms I talked about earlier. They
Mm-hmm.
cost, so I have to put money towards that. And sometimes they're like a monthly bill, and then of course I got Apple Pay because I can't function without my music. So
Yeah, come on
I
now.
just prioritize my money, and then once I get everything done, I'm like, okay, well, now I can spend freely. I can do what I want, or I can save more money. You know what I mean? It always comes in handy.
All
But I also learned, like, from billionaires, that money, you're not going to die with that money. So I don't make it like my number one thing where, oh my God, money's so important. I have to survive. Money makes me happy, blah, blah, blah. Or money's the root of all evil. Like, I'm not one of those crazy conspiracy theorists. I just kind of like, I let it flow. It is what it is, too. Because I keep that attitude, energy is important. I keep that energy, like money will always flow towards me as long as I'm doing what I love, as long as I'm happy. Money should never be a problem for me because I'm using it wisely. I'm not using it crazy. So when I put it out, it comes back tenfold. So that's another thing I learned from reading those books. They said it's also a mindset. If you think poor, you're going to be poor. If you think rich, you're going to be rich. So I think rich all the time. I'm like, I'm already rich, and I set up like my stock. I set up like my stocks and bonds already, so they're building over time. So I am rich already. In the future, I'm rich. Now I'm rich. So that's another thing I learned, just to keep the mindset and just put in effort to use it wisely. That's all that's important when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to money management. That's like big.
All right, and then lastly, I want to ask if there was anything that you had left to say to the people. Oh yeah, I see ya, bro. Okay, we good.
No, I couldn't hear you.
We
I
good.
had to put my ear up to
No, no. But lastly, I wanted to say, I wanted to ask you if you had anything else for the general public. If you had anything else to say to the general public, or even young actors who are trying to
Yes.
get into business as
So
well.
I always say, follow your dreams, do what the fuck you want to do because it's not hard,
Uh-huh.
and don't listen to naysayers. Don't listen to people because they put their fears and they put their insecurities onto you. So
Mm.
just don't listen to other people. Just listen to yourself. Do what you want. Do what you love, y'all. Listen to me, okay? Listen to grandma. I know. I've always been that type of person. Like people would be like, "Oh, you can't do this," and I'm like, "Yes, I can. Like, why can't I?" And they can't give me a reason why not. So I
Mhm.
tell people like, "Do it. Why can't you? There's no excuse." And if they make an excuse, I'm like, "That's an excuse." And have you ever learned that excuses are tools of incompetence, building monuments of nothing?
Yep, that was Miss Dunlap right there. Excuses are the tools the incompetent use to
Oh,
build for
you have Miss
themselves great
Dunlap.
monuments of nothing.
We
That was,
have misgivings, and she instilled that in us. Okay.
yep.
Oh my God. So yeah, I always like tell people just go for it. I want y'all to believe in yourselves as much as I believe in myself. Love yourself as much as I love myself. Self confidence as much as I have it. Like no need to hate. I want everybody to work together. No need to hate on each other. Build each other up. We're a community. And then also subscribe to my YouTube. You feel me? I'm trying
Okay.
to get my subscribers up.
Okay. So what's
And
your
just
YouTube and social media accounts?
so I am actresspreneur on every account. Literally, I own a name.
Spell
My
that for me.
website is theactresspreneur.com. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm actresspreneur. On YouTube, it's natural actresspreneur. Or you can type youtube.com/the actresspreneur. And then Facebook.com/actresspreneur. That's my name. I own it. It's trademark. Don't try to steal it. I know it's super cool.
Dang,
Okay.
I definitely wanted to use
That's
that.
why I made it up.
So can you spell actresspreneur for me?
Yes. So ACTRESSPRENEUR. So actress and then preneur at the end of entrepreneur. I just put those two words together.
Okay. So wait, you said you got actresspreneur, so I could be actorpreneur if I really wanted to be.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, time to
Actually,
trademark
one more thing. May 20, I mean, what month is this? March.
this March.
March 25th, I am coming out with my new design of the month. So for Actresspreneur Beauty Club in the merch department, I drop a new design every month just to keep things spicy. I don't want to bore people with regular t-shirts. So March 25th, I'm coming out with a new design, and it's going to apply to everybody. Like, I want y'all to, I really am excited to show y'all this, and I want everybody to look forward to it because, like, it's going to be one for everybody. Something that everybody can relate to. Not just actresspreneur, but everybody. So y'all stay tuned, okay? Because I'm dropping that March 25th. I want y'all to see it and be excited.
Woo, we ready.
Right.
All right, but no, it was good talking to you. Thank you for interviewing with me.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for adapting and interviewing with me. I thought I was going to be stuck doing nothing.
Oh no. We, like you said, we adapt and overcome. So we are definitely, like, I was already planning on what we were gonna do. Now that this COVID 19 is starting to cause mass panic.
Right. That's all it is. Panic.
Yeah, I mean, better safe than sorry though. So I rather people stay their asses in the house, or as Lupe said, keep their punk asses in the house, or take their punk asses in the house. I'd rather people do that than to be outside spreading the virus. So even if it's just mass hysteria, or if it's not what it's all cracked up to be, I'd rather people stay safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in that case, once again, thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you, and this is one of many interviews. We will have another one for sure.
Thank
Especially
you,
when
for
that
sure.
when that trailer comes out. I wanna know some more about that.
Stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. I'm excited for it. Oh, I'm so excited for that. But thank you so much for having me, y'all. Peace, love, and happiness. Blessings to everybody. Stay safe. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. All right.